From crippled with social anxiety to dating coach, how I help men worldwide transform their dating lives. Now, you might be asking, why should I be listening to you? And in this video, I'm not only going to answer that, but I'm going to walk you through my journey from socially anxious and lost with women to becoming someone who today coaches high value men around the world on dating and confidence. You'll see where I started, the mistakes I made, what eventually worked, and how I was able to come out of it on the other side completely transformed. Socially anxious and totally clueless about women. Here's the thing, I used to really struggle with horrible social anxiety. I remember every small interaction felt like a huge performance. Every time I spoke to people, my mind would go blank. And I would even stop talking mid sentence because of how insecure I felt expressing myself. I don't know if you ever had this level of social anxiety growing up, but I'd rehearse everything from what I was going to say beforehand. I was so terrified of being judged. And I didn't even know what this paralyzing feeling was called until high school when I finally learned that social anxiety was actually a thing. And because I judged myself, I assumed everyone did too. So I would isolate myself, stay out of social circles, because I felt I wasn't worthy of being around these people I wanted to be with. So, to give an example, the perfect day for me would be avoiding all eye contact, not having anyone talk to me, and keeping myself to myself. I had no confidence and I felt completely invisible, and frankly, I hated myself. And when it came to women, you can imagine it was even worse. I would always be the socially awkward, nice guy who at a party would ask a woman to follow me under a tree to tell her I'd love her, only to be laughed at and friend zoned. Meanwhile, to make things even worse, I would watch other confident guys, often less attractive, date and have intimacy with the women that I wanted. And it left me angry and confused because I couldn't understand what they had that I didn't. Still socially anxious, but now heartbroken. When I got to uni, I thought everything would change. I thought I'd go to parties, build confidence, and have meaningful experiences with women. But instead, my social anxiety got worse, and I spent more time locked in my room avoiding people. Even though I craved social connections and intimacy, the fear of socializing kept me isolated, and I would numb the pain with Netflix, porn, and junk food. I hit rock bottom when I fell for a Spanish girl who was the first and only girl liking me back. I became so attached to her, not out of love, but because I was operating out of massive scarcity. And this girl was toxic. She was a party girl. She partied nonstop. She took drugs. She had massive depression. And guess what? She even cheated on me, and I stayed with her. I let her do that. And I had so little boundaries because I had so little boundaries and self respect. I thought I had to be nice and helpful because that would mean earning her love. That's how desperate for validation I was. I even wanted it from someone toxic like her. After getting my heart broken, I finally reached that point where I told myself enough is enough. I just can't do this anymore. And this was the moment I knew something had to change. The fear, the anxiety, the self loathing were literally eating me up and killing that part of me that just wanted to feel free, authentically express, and connect with the world. So I pushed myself to go out there. But the problem was, I was doing it not from a place of becoming the best version of myself, of building my self worth, of living a cool social life. But I was doing it to prove to my ex I was better than her and I could replace her. And I tried forcing results every day by going up to women on campus and going to bars and clubs with my classmates, coming from this vengeful, I'm going to show you energy. And I was carrying so much ego, women could tell. And I'd get rejected again and again because they knew I was just a guy with low self-confidence who was just hurt. I tried everything, but nothing worked. I wish I was self-aware enough to go deep into the actual root cause of my issues, but my heartbreak and lack of self-confidence made me turn to pick up as the quick fix to my problems. So I tried every method I could find. I memorized hundreds of pickup lines. I would mimic high value male behavior. I watched red pill videos. I even took dating boot camps. I was taking serious action, going out, starting conversations, following advice, but the results weren't coming. Women often told me I was annoying them. They felt unsafe around me, and that again, I looked disconnected from myself, as though I was pretending to be someone else. And watching other guys on YouTube succeed with women using the same advice just made things worse. I felt like I was missing some critical piece of the puzzle. And finally, I had a glimpse of what was missing. I'll be honest, after years of trying, I did see some progress. I was more relaxed socially, I was making eye contact, and I was holding conversations without my mind going blank or filtering words. But the confidence I built by age 25 wasn't real, guys. It was rehearsed. I had learned how to look confident through pickup tricks, but deep down, I still wasn't that man. And the women who mattered, the high quality women I wanted, could see that. You won't build genuine relationships by wearing a mask. Eventually, the mask will slip. The truth was, I hadn't changed as much as I thought I changed. I still lacked self respect, still didn't have boundaries. The same insecurities I had in university were still running the show, only now I had smoother lines. And I kept attracting the same kind of women from uni, now just more of them, emotionally unstable, toxic, and insecure women. And I tried to earn their love by pleasing them because I still tried earning their love by pleasing them because deep down, I was still a people pleaser. So I still hadn't learned how to love myself, and no amount of game could fix what was missing inside. And it wasn't until I stepped back and finally realized what was happening that I realized the real reason things weren't working for me. And this is when things actually started to shift. I wasn't failing because I lacked dating skills. I was failing because I was pretending to be someone else. So I stopped focusing on seduction techniques and I started focusing on becoming the man I was actually going to be proud of. And a man with, what am I talking about? A man with clear goals, with discipline, with self accountability and emotional control, with a long term vision for the man he wanted to be. And one of the many steps that I took and I teach my clients was quitting all the negative habits in my life, clearly defining my social, health, financial, and dating goals, and then relentlessly working on achieving those goals. And in the matter of months, my health radically improved. My physique got insanely stronger. I took care of my finances. And I started multiple businesses. I made strong business and personal connections and made sure I was living to my highest potential every day and not falling into low level temptations, lustful, and empty relationships. This is where I became a different man, guys. Learning seduction wasn't a waste of time, it was necessary. I went deep into it, refined it, and now I teach its core principles to my clients with great results. But it's only one side of the equation because it needs to be balanced with the inner purpose, self confidence, and personal growth. With the inner and outer game now coming together, I had become the kind of man high quality women were naturally drawn to. And from that place of living to my highest purpose, women stopped taking advantage of me. And because I started creating real standards for who I was going to be and what I was going to tolerate. And I no longer chased or tried to convince anyone. If a woman wasn't interested or played games, I simply let her go. I wasn't emotionally dependent on women's validation because I had built that validation from within. And truthfully, It was the inner transformation that changed everything. Sorry. It didn't just fix my dating life, it healed the root issues: the lack of confidence, the isolation, the social anxiety, and that constant feeling of not belonging or being able to fully express myself. And my results blew up, but you don't need to do what I did. This journey of personal transformation and dating didn't take me months. It took me over 6 years. And there was a lot of trial and error, guys. I probably spent thousands of dollars on personal development, tens of thousands, made tons of mistakes, and even made disastrous life decisions choosing the wrong women. And my mental health, social life, and confidence all took a hit during most of these 6 years. And being honest, most of you guys would have quit. I was just stubborn enough. I was determined to figure it out. But don't go through this journey alone. Don't take all that pain and put it on your shoulders to try and understand all of this, the inner and the outer game. I've already made the mistakes and I've come out the other side. So be smart, save yourself the years and the suffering, and actually get a mentor or get some advice or get a game plan on where you should go next. How it changed my life. So today, I live in true abundance. I date on my terms. I have the confidence I never thought I'd have. And I built experiences that every man should have in his lifetime. That transformation didn't just change my dating life. It changed everything about me: my self-belief, my business, my health, my body, my peace of mind. And for the first time in my life, I actually loved who I was. Not because I was pretending to be someone else, but I've aligned myself with who I'm meant to be. And I didn't settle for the first woman who gave me attention. I built myself to become the man who could choose the right partner, and I did. And now I coach men all around the world to do the same, so they can build a life where they're confident, no longer begging for scraps, but choosing from abundance. This is my current girlfriend, and she's exactly the type of girl that I want and that I used to desire. And the best part of that is I didn't find her by luck. I found her by becoming the man who could attract her. She's supportive, emotionally healthy, and she loves me for who I actually am, not for some role that I'm playing. And I dated with intention, held high standards, and refused to settle for less. And that's exactly what led me to her. So book a free 15-minute coffee chat. If you're tired of staying stuck in the same patterns, you feel invisible to the women you want, anxious around them, or rejected by them, if you're struggling with self-confidence issues socially and you feel you're not the man you're supposed to be, I want to offer you a completely free 15-minute dating audit call. On that call, we'll break down your current situation, identify what's holding you back, and lay out a real game plan to move you forward with confidence. Imagine being able to attract high quality women naturally, hold deep conversations with them, have amazing dates and experiences, or have that quality relationship you always dreamt of, and finally live from that place of abundance and confidence. That's what this journey is all about. Time isn't guaranteed, and the longer you wait, the harder it gets. So take action now. Click the link in the description, book your free call, and let's get you moving towards the man you know you were meant to be.